Here she is, P6B project. So the story behind this car is it was stripped out completely by somebody else, and it sat for a number of years, and by stripping out they stripped everything out of it. So my goal was to purchase the car and put it back together because it is a beautiful chassis. This is as far as I've got. So the whole chassis and body has been media blasted, the whole car, and then it's been put in a Glazerith 801 epoxy ready for paint, etc. The engine bay I've started on the engine bay, so it's got a 2K primer on it, and you can see I've filled all the spot welds up, tidied everything up. A couple of little marks on there that have got to be fixed still, which I haven't got to. But the engine bay is in 2K primer, been sanded, ready for a 2K black. So there is a significant amount of work still be done on this car to get this car back together. She is beautiful though. Jacking points are amazing inside the car where they normally rust. So it's a really solid car. 1973. There's the plates for it when it was last registered. But as you can see, it's fully stripped. The guy who pulled this car apart literally pulled every nut and bolt off it. Now, interesting fact for people who don't know is this is a New Zealand assembled P6, and we can tell this because of this. So when these cars were shipped from England to New Zealand, they cut the roofs off them. So they cut through the C pillar, through the B pillar, and also through the A pillar. And they set the roofs upside down inside the car to save space. And when they got to New Zealand, they were welded back up. So that's how you can tell if it's a New Zealand assembled car. So all those welds, I dressed all those welds before it went off for media blasting as best I could. So it's been sandblasted under the car as well. So if you can look on the wheel well there, along the boot area, she's all media blasted and been put into epoxy. Boot, zero rust, nothing. But it's missing everything. Once again, you can see the weld marks on this side. Now, the other crazy thing this person did when they stripped it out is they cut the wiring loom. Look at this. So they've chopped the wiring loom. So the next step now is to put new loom in it, which I do have. In fact, I've got enough parts to put the whole car back together, but it needs a loom put in it. And then you can start the rebuild process from there. Look at those A-pillars. There's not a mark of rust or anything in them down the bottom there. Firewall. Yeah, so there you have it. New Zealand assembled 1973 Rover P6B project. Big project. Part 2 on this car. I also forgot to mention it's only an 80,000 mile car, so it's a low mileage car, but that kind of doesn't mean much because it's obviously fully stripped and it's never going to be original again unless you want to go to town and spend an awful lot of money on it. But it's never going to be original. It's just been pulled apart too far. So my goal for it was a resto mod style application. So my area of industry is automotive electronics, so it was going to be fuel injected 3.9 and with an LT77 manual conversion done to it. So I've got a full LT77 conversion kit for one of these with the pedal boxes and master cylinders and slaves and drive shafts, etc., clutch, pressure plates, flywheels, etc. So I've got a full kit which I was going to put into this, resto mod it, make it into a 5-speed manual. So that's kind of what I was going to do, and then I've obviously got enough bits here to put this car back together. So in terms of a new owner, depending what skill level you have, how many parts you have, option one is probably use this chassis if you've got a slightly rusty one yourself, and use this good chassis and put all your good bits onto it. That's option one, and then you can decide how modified you want to make it, whether you want to keep it automatic, whether you want to do a 5-speed on it, what other options that you want to do to it. That's kind of option one, if you've got the parts to put on it. Now if you don't have the parts to put on it, it's kind of option two here, which is I have got to complete another car which I purchased, which I was going to use to put onto this car. So the car I purchased, the other donor car I purchased, had a really rusty chassis on it, but the rest of the car was quite good, had a reasonably nice interior and all the other bits and pieces that you would need to put this back together. So I have a whole nother car. So option two is to get another car and use the parts from that car to put this one back together. I mean, obviously I can supply other parts and bits and pieces as well to get this back on the road. So that's kind of option two, is to purchase another vehicle, and if you don't have the bits, and put this back together. But it's going, yeah, I mean, you're going to need to use one of those two options. Yeah, you're going to need some parts to get this back together, which either I can supply, or you might have the parts yourself and you'll be able to do it yourself with a donor car. So those are the two options. Really cool project, a lot of work. Yeah, here we go.